playing the songs, even just on the live streams, playing them from my room, over the internet, and like hearing the words, even though like I wrote them, hearing them, hearing myself say them again, I was like, oh, this is very strange. Like, this is like too accurate to right now.
Welcome to The Details. This is a show where an artist discusses 5 special details from a recent release with me, Molly Mary O'Brien. Here's Elise from Oceanator talking about her album, Things I Never Said.
Will you tell me a little bit about like the songwriting / recording process for the album?
There were some songs that had been in production, I guess, or whatever for a while. It had been hanging around from like before even the first EP came out that I just didn't think fit anywhere yet. I Would Find You was actually one of those.
And if the sun never came up tomorrow, how long do you think it would take us to notice?
We played 5 songs like live in the studio, guitar, bass, and drums all at once, because like I wanted this record to sound like you were seeing a band, which is also kind of funny because now you can't see bands. I really enjoyed that we got to record a bunch of them like in a room together without a metronome, so that they would get like some of those, especially with Heartbeat, we had gotten good at like speeding up and slowing down like all together in a way to like kind of make this song feel a little more stressful, because it's like about like kind of anxiety, Those 5 songs we did in one day because we booked one day at the studio to do them.
Wow.
And then we came here where I am now to my brother's studio and did like the guitar leads and all the vocals and stuff, which is what we're doing with the new record too. We're doing a lot of the stuff here, even though we did book some studio time as well.
I wanted to ask you about like the idea of the platonic love song, because I feel like that's how you described I Would Find You. Mm-hmm. How did that like come about? I just feel like that's like such an interesting angle for a song.
That song started out as being more about like a specific person, but then just kind of morphed into like, no, this is about like all my friends, setting up this world where everything's breaking and dying, and if we're in that situation, what would be the most important thing? And I think it would be like friendships and relationships, and just trying to make the best of the rest of it and take care of each other.
I do feel like that is a theme that really came out last year. So
yeah,
just I guess writing guitar music in general, like are you sitting down and like jamming with yourself, or like do things kind of come to your ears first and then you're trying to translate them?
So Heartbeat, for example, that riff that's like the that one was like in my head first, and then I transcribed it, I guess, or whatever, figured it out on the guitar. Goodbye, Goodnight, there's that guitar riff towards the end that's like or whatever. And that one was written like after playing it a bunch, just the chords, because I would just be playing and I would kind of hear that in my head.
What kind of guitar do you play, or did you play on this album rather?
I usually play a Reverend Jetstream 390. It's over there. I'm looking at it right now. And then there's some stuff on there, like we used a Jazzmaster, and I think we might have used a Telecaster. But yeah, I mostly use this Reverend, which is like got some good chunk to it, but also has like some nice twangy surf stuff going on.
Now I have to ask, like, how did you find the guitar?
I got really lucky. My brother had this one. He has the studio, and so he like gets equipment and tries it out, and then sometimes he'll sell it. And I played that on a song, and I was like, this is it. This is my guitar. Let me know if you're going to sell it. And he was like, no, I'm not going to. And I was like, okay. And then a little while later, he was like, fine, I'll sell it to you.
I feel like that's the ultimate like sibling borrowing clothes, but like way like just heightened a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, that's how I got my amp too, and that's how I got my favorite cymbals. I just always, before I go to the store, I check with him. I'm like, do you have anything you're selling right now? And then I get it.
The Heartbeat video, how did it feel to see multiple versions of you on the screen all together?
It was cool. So David Combs and Ben Epstein filmed and edited that video and came up with the idea for it, really. And I was like, okay, I don't really get how you're going to do it, but sounds awesome. And so we went and spent like the hottest day ever in that big field, changing shirts and guitars. Like, brought my guitars, brought a bunch of my brother's guitars. David borrowed a bunch of guitars, so we just had like a bunch of options. So I was just running around all day. It was really tiring, and then I got to see the finished one. I was like, dang, this is so cool. Like, look at all the little me's like rocking out.
The barbershop quartet version of you, like, that just sent me to the moon.
I think that was my idea, because I remember when we recorded that song, when we were doing the harmonies, I was like, and this part is the barbershop quartet. I've been waiting for a long time, dreaming a long time, wishing a long time, longing to hear. And I was like, I'm going to get this costume. And they were like, okay. And then it like worked out really great. And then I got to write that costume off on my taxes.
You gotta break that out again for some special occasion. I don't know.
Yeah. I wore it for like a Halloween stream that I did, like for the Rat Boys telethon Halloween stream. I was like, might as well dress up for Halloween.
Did you put this album out on your own label?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How was that kind of process of going from like creative output to like business, basically, or like create, like having it be like a product in the world?
It worked well because we had been sitting on it for so long, and I want people to hear this one. And I had already been planning to start a label anyway. We were already in the test press phase when everything like became a disaster. Mm-hmm. So the order was already placed for 400 records. And I was like, 400 is so many. I have to put these 400 records out myself, and there's no touring. And I was panicking, and then it sold out, which was like, I thought I was going to have records just in my apartment for like forever. And now
wow, I didn't even think about that. That is so, you're like, I was going to put these on a table at the show and get them out that way. Now people have to find them.
Yeah. So I was very, very pleasantly surprised and really, really stoked that people like really liked it. Every time someone buys one still, because like the second pressing is out now, I'm just like, dang, that's more people are finding it. This is so cool. It's really exciting.